Morning students. In this session we will discuss about Kohlrausch law of independent migration of ions. See, actually students, what is this Kohlrausch law of independent migration of ions? See, according to this, at infinite dilution, when the dissociation of an electrolyte is complete, each ion makes a definite contribution towards molar conductivity of the electrolyte, irrespective of the nature of the other ion with which it is associated. See, actually, at infinite dilution, that means infinite dilution means V tends to infinity. That means zero concentration. At infinite dilution, when the dissociation of an electrolyte is complete, each and every ion, when an electrolyte undergoes dissociation, it splits into individual ions, and each and every ion makes a definite contribution towards molar conductivity of the electrolyte, irrespective of the nature of the other ion, whatever the other ion it may be, with which it is associated. Now, according to this Kohlrausch law, what is the statement of Kohlrausch law here? The limiting molar conductivity. What is meant by limiting molar conductivity? Limiting molar conductivity is otherwise called as molar conductivity lambda m at infinite dilution. That is denoted by lambda m infinity. That is nothing but lambda m infinity. What is the meaning of this term lambda m infinity? It is the molar conductivity of a solution at infinite dilution. Molar conductivity at infinite dilution is represented by lambda m infinity, or in some books it is denoted by lambda m naught. What is this lambda m naught represents? Molar conductivity at zero concentration. What is lambda m naught? Molar conductivity at zero concentration. Zero concentration. Both terms are same, but designation, both these terms are same, but in some books lambda m infinity they will call. What is lambda m infinity? Molar conductivity at infinite dilution. Lambda m naught means molar conductivity at zero concentration. Both are same. Zero concentration or infinite dilution, both are same. So now, according to this Kohlrausch law, the limiting molar conductivity of an electrolyte, what is meant by limiting molar conductivity? That is nothing but molar conductivity at infinite dilution is the sum of limiting ionic conductivities of the cation and anion. What are the, suppose if any electrolyte undergo dissociation, it splits into cation and anion. So it is a sum of limiting ionic conductivities of the cation and anion, and each term multiplied with the number of ions present in one formula unit of the electrolyte, and each term is multiplied with the number of ions present in one formula unit of the electrolyte. See, it's very easy definition. Now I will explain through example. So if you take any electrolyte, I am representing lambda m naught. I am representing any electrolyte is represented by Ax By. So now this is a molar, according to Kohlrausch law, this can be written as x into x times lambda m naught of a power y plus y into lambda m naught of b power x minus. So x into lambda m naught of a power y plus cation plus y into lambda m naught of b power x minus. So now let us, this can also be written as lambda m infinity, both are same, of Ax By is equal to, you can write x into lambda m infinity molar conductivity and infinite dilution into a power y plus y into lambda m infinity b power x minus, right? So this is the exact statement for molar conductivity. This is only here we explained that only. This is lambda m infinity is otherwise called as limiting molar conductivity of an electrolyte. that is molar conductivity at infinite dilution or zero concentration. It is the sum of the limiting ionic conductivities of cation and anion, each term multiplied with the number of ions present in one formula unit of the electrolyte. Now let us apply for some electrolytes here. So now shall I write like this? Lambda m naught of NaCl. This can be equal to, according to Kohlrausch law, it can be written as lambda m naught of Na plus lambda m naught of Cl minus. I think you understood. Or next, other electrolyte I will take lambda m naught of BaCl2. How can you express this? According to Kohlrausch law of independent migration of ions, lambda m naught of Ba2 plus only one is there, plus two chlorines are there, na? 2 chlorine atoms, 2 into lambda m naught of Cl minus. Like this you have to write. So for numericals this is very important. Lambda m naught of AlCl3. How you will write here? Lambda m naught of Al3 plus 3 into lambda m naught of Cl minus. So now same one more example. Lambda m naught of Al2SO4 taken thrice. So this can be written as 2 times lambda m naught of Al3 plus 3 times lambda m naught of SO4 2 minus. So I think you understood, students. This is the expressing, we are expressing lambda m naught of any salt. So calcium phosphate I am taking, Ca3PO4 taken twice. So this is calcium phosphate. How to express this one? 3 times 3 into lambda m naught of Ca2 plus 2 into lambda m naught of PO4 3 minus. Like this you have to write. Okay, students. So this is the Kohlrausch law in terms of molar conductance or molar conductivities. Now the same thing, we can explain the same Kohlrausch law in terms of equivalent conductance, equivalent conductivities. So it's very light, so try to get it. I am reading it. The equivalent conductivity of an electrolyte at infinite dilution is the sum of two values, one depending upon the cation and other depending upon the anion. This time I am expressing equivalent conductance, lambda E naught, that is limiting equivalent conductivity, or equivalent conductance at zero concentration, that is equal to, of any electrolyte, is equal to sum of lambda E naught of cation plus lambda E naught of anion. So this is related to electrolyte. Equivalent conductance of any electrolyte at zero concentration is equal to lambda E naught of cation plus lambda E naught of anion. So you know how to call this one. Lambda E naught represents equivalent conductance at zero concentration, or this same thing can be expressed as lambda E infinity of an electrolyte. Any electrolyte, if you take, lambda E infinity of electrolyte is equal to lambda E infinity of cation plus, here you should not multiply, whatever the electrolyte it may be, just you have to write lambda E infinity of anion. Both are same. So this is expressing equivalent conductance, limiting equivalent conductance of an electrolyte is equal to sum of limiting equivalent conductance of a cation and limiting equivalent conductance of an anion. So this can be written as lambda E naught represents equivalent conductivity of an electrolyte at zero concentration is equal to equivalent conductivity of cation at zero concentration plus equivalent conductivity of an anion at zero concentration. The same term can be expressed as lambda E infinity of electrolyte, that is equivalent conductivity of an electrolyte at infinite dilution is equal to sum of equivalent conductivity of a cation at infinite dilution plus equivalent conductivity of anion at infinite dilution. Now let us take one example for this. Simply lambda E naught of, if anyone asks, NaCl, that is equal to lambda E naught of Na plus, be careful here, lambda E naught of Cl minus. Up to here no problem. Okay. Now lambda E naught of BaCl2, this can be written as lambda E naught of Ba2 plus lambda E naught of Cl minus. That's all. Don't multiply 2 times. You should not multiply 2 into lambda E naught of chloride ion. You should not write. So according to the definition, limiting molar conductance, limiting equivalent conductance. This we are expressing in terms of equivalent conductance. Limiting equivalent conductance of an electrolyte is equal to sum of the limiting equivalent conductance of the cation plus limiting equivalent conductance of anion. That's all. Here you should not multiply here 2 into Cl minus like that. Don't do. Next, this is other expression. Okay. Now lambda E naught of, suppose if it is given Al2SO4 taken thrice, how to express this one? Simply write lambda E naught of Al3 plus, you know the charge, plus lambda E naught of SO4 2 minus. Be careful here. Right. Next, suppose if lambda E naught of Ca3PO4 twice is Ca3PO4 twice is given, calcium phosphate, simply you write very easy, lambda E naught of calcium ion plus lambda E naught of phosphate ion PO4 3 minus. That's all. Cation plus anion, don't multiply 2 into 3 into calcium ions like that, don't multiply. So this is definition of Kohlrausch law in terms of limiting molar conductance, limiting equivalent conductance. Okay, two definitions we have got. Definition of Kohlrausch law in case of molar conductance. Now this is a case of equivalent conductance. Okay students, now while doing sums you have to be very careful. Now what is the relation between this limit lambda E naught and lambda M naught? How can you bring out the relation between lambda E naught and lambda M naught? So now let us have that one. Now for example, if it is written like this, lambda E naught of what we will take, this one we will take, right? This is the expression, right? How to convert into lambda M naught? So this one, lambda E naught of Ca3PO4 taken twice can be written as, so this one, what you can write, lambda E naught of Ca2 plus can be written as 1 by 2 times, be careful here, lambda E naught of Ca2 plus can be written as 1 by 2 times, what is 2 here, charge of the cation, 1 by 2 into lambda M naught of Ca2 plus, right? This is the relation between lambda E naught of Ca2 plus and lambda M naught. So lambda E naught of Ca2 plus is equal to 1 by 2 times lambda M naught of Ca2 plus, and this can be written as, what is the charge on phosphate ion? 1 by, that is 3. So 1 by 3 into lambda M naught of PO4 3 minus. Be careful. So if I want lambda E naught of Ca3 to PO4 twice, I can convert lambda E naught value into lambda M naught. How can I convert? Lambda E naught of Ca2 plus can be written as 1 by 2 times, what is this 2, from where you got? Charge on the cation. 1 by 2 times lambda M naught of Ca2 plus 1 by 3 times lambda M naught of PO4 3 minus. Now like that you can do it for aluminum sulfate. Lambda E naught of Al2SO4 thrice. First of all you write in terms of in terms of lambda E naught of Al3 plus lambda E naught of SO4 2 minus. So how to convert this one into lambda M naught? That is equal to, I am writing 1 by 3 times because charge on the cation, lambda M naught into Al3 plus 1 by 2 times lambda M naught into SO4 2 minus. That is the relation. So from this we can write lambda E is equal to lambda M by, I will bring out one relation, lambda E naught is equal to lambda M naught by charge on the cation or anion. Cation or anion. Be careful here. Lambda E naught is equal to lambda M naught by charge on the cation or anion. Okay students. Now I think you understood. You can practice now. That is the relation between lambda, how to convert lambda E naught and lambda M naught. This is the relation. So like this we can do. So now let us take one example. Lambda E infinity of Na3PO4, it is given. First what you have to write? Lambda E, simply E infinity of Na plus, what are the cations and anions you represent in terms of lambda E infinity of PO4 3 minus phosphate ion. Now how to convert this one? 1 by 1 into lambda M infinity of Na plus, charge on this, plus 1 by 3 into lambda M infinity of PO4 3 minus. So like that we can convert, students. So I think you understood this one, how to convert them. Okay, for calcium phosphate you have written. So this is the thing what you have to do. So next, students, this is about Kohlrausch law. Now see this tabular form. Actually Kohlrausch, the scientist named Kohlrausch, he studied the molar conductivities at infinite dilution or zero concentration, lambda m naught values. He studied the molar conductivities at zero concentration for a number of pairs of strong electrolytes, each pair having a common cation or anion. So values of lambda m naught of some pairs of electrolytes having common ion. What is this common ion? KBr, KCl. What is the common ion in these two electrolytes? K plus. In NaBr, NaCl, what is the common ion? Na plus. In LiBr, LiCl, what is the common ion? Li plus. In case of KCl, NaCl, what is the common ion? Cl minus. In case of KBr, NaBr, what is the common ion? Br minus. In case of KNO3, NaNO3, what is the common ion? NO3 minus ion. Now what he did here? He studied the molar conductance lambda m naught values for a number of pairs of strong electrolytes, each pair having a common cation. He observed that the difference of lambda m naught of different pairs of electrolytes having a common cation or anion was almost same. See here, he has calculated. So see, actually this is the lambda m naught value of KBr, this is the lambda m naught value of KCl, and both electrolytes having common ion K plus. He has taken the difference between these two values, so it was found to be 2.06. At the same time, the other thing, for NaBr and NaCl, these are the values, lambda m naught values, and he has taken the difference. How much he got? 2.06. And for these two, 2.06. Like that, even for this set, you can see KCl, NaCl, KBr, NaBr, and KNa. So if you take the difference here, it was found to be 23.41, and here also 23.41. So he observed that the difference of lambda m naught values of different pairs of electrolytes having a common cation or anion was almost same. That is important point. Okay. Now we will have applications of Kohlrausch law. So before going to study the applications, once I will show you tabular form. This is a limiting ionic conductance values of some cations and anions here. These values for H plus ion, this one Na plus, K plus, and like this for different cations and anions, lambda naught values are given here in the tabular form, just for example. And these are the limiting molar conductivities of some ions in water. Here water is a solvent at 298.15 Kelvin. They have calculated, scientists, through the Kohlrausch law formula, H plus, Na plus, K plus, all these ions, they have got the values of lambda m naught. This is the experimental data. Limiting molar conductivity for some ions in water at 298.15 Kelvin. So after this, we will have applications of Kohlrausch law. So here first application for Kohlrausch law is calculation of molar conductivity at infinite dilution for weak electrolytes. Already you know one graph, previously we discussed. It's very difficult for calculating, you can't calculate the lambda m naught value of a weak electrolyte. Did you remember or not? See, for in case of weak electrolytes, we got this type of curve for acetic acid. So for acetic acid, here this line didn't touch this y-axis. You see, once for strong alkalides it will be like this. So like this, it will touch y-axis. From this we will easily calculate lambda m naught values. But here lambda m naught value for weak alkalite can't be calculated by using what that relation, by using the graph lambda m naught versus root c plots. So we have to take lambda m values and root c value. So here for weak alkalite it's not possible to calculate, because here this line is not touching y-axis. For strong alkalites this is touching y-axis. So zero concentration, lambda m naught value for strong alkalites can be easily calculated by using the plots between lambda m naught versus root c. But lambda m naught value for weak alkalites can't be calculated directly by using the plots lambda m naught versus root c. So that's why Kohlrausch law main application is calculation of lambda m naught values of weak electrolytes. So how these lambda m naught values of weak electrolytes can be calculated by applying Kohlrausch law? Lambda m naught or lambda m infinity also we can call. So that is the first application. Now, so how can we calculate lambda m naught values for weak electrolytes? Now, for example, calculation of lambda m naught value of acetic acid. How can you calculate this? Through graph it is not possible. So according to Kohlrausch law, lambda m naught of acetic acid is equal to lambda m naught of CH3COO minus plus lambda m naught of H plus, lambda m naught of acetate ion plus lambda m naught of H plus ion. That is according to Kohlrausch law. Now, for this, how to calculate? So consider three strong electrolytes. What are those? HCl, NaCl, CH3COO, Na. These. Consider three strong electrolytes: HCl, NaCl, CH3COO, Na. So now let us write lambda m naught value of, see here common ion is there na? In sodium acetate, common ion is acetate ion. This is common to acetic acid, right? So so you have to write sodium acetate. So how to write lambda m naught of, according to Kohlrausch law, just split that one, plus lambda m naught of Na plus, right? So you consider this one as first equation, consider this one as second equation. Now other electrolyte you take, lambda m naught of NaCl, lambda m naught of NaCl is equal to lambda m naught of Na plus lambda m naught of Cl minus. So this is third equation. So you can consider one more, that is lambda m naught of HCl. You can write this one as lambda m naught of H plus lambda m naught of Cl minus. So this is fourth equation. So from 2, 3, 4 equations, from okay, you can write one thing. So you can bring out one relation between them. So what relation you can bring from these three equations here? So lambda m naught of acetic acid, you can write it as, from this lambda m naught of, see, just whatever the equations that are present on here, you can write on the right side. See, from 1, 2, 3, 4 equations, I can write lambda m naught of acetate ion plus lambda m naught of H plus is equal to all the things which are present on the right side. I am writing from 1, 2, 3, 4 equations. I can write lambda m naught of CaCO minus plus lambda m naught of H plus is equal to, just add all those, lambda m naught of CH3COO minus plus lambda m naught of Na plus lambda m naught of this one plus lambda m naught of H plus lambda m naught of Cl minus. So this is one set, minus, I am doing minus, remember, lambda m naught of minus of lambda m naught of Na plus lambda m naught of Cl minus, like this you have to write. So lambda m naught of CaCO minus plus H plus can be written as, that means what you did here, equation 1 is equal to, 2 plus 4 minus 3. We did that one. Equation 1 is equal to 2 plus 4 minus 3. 2 plus 4 minus 3. So if you do like that, finally what relation you are going to get here? This total term can be written as lambda m naught of acetic acid is equal to, this total term, what you can write? The total term can be written as lambda m naught of CH3COO plus, this total term can be written as lambda m naught of HCl minus lambda m naught of NaCl. So if you do that, be careful, finally whatever you do, you should get lambda m naught of acetic acid. Whatever you do, that 2, 3, 4 equations, you adjust them. I did 2 plus 4 minus 3, then that I got equation 1. So you have to plan, you have to recheck once again. 2 plus 4 minus 3 I did, then I got it is equal to 1. Understood? So this is very important formula for doing numericals. For acetic acid, if anyone asks you to calculate the lambda m naught value of acetic acid, lambda m naught value of acetic acid is equal to lambda m naught value of sodium acetate plus lambda m naught of HCl minus lambda m naught of NaCl. Lambda m naught of sodium acetate plus lambda m naught of HCl minus lambda m naught of NaCl. So like this you have to do it, students. So we adjust 2, 3, 4 equations in such a manner that must be equal to 1. Whatever you do, I don't know. 2, 3, 4 equations, you add or subtract, whatever you do, finally resultant should be equal. When you are going to get 1, 2 plus 4 minus 3 if I do, then I will get 1. So like that, how to calculate, students. Now like this you can apply for some other also. If you want, you can apply it for some other relations. So I am giving the important relations. If most of the equations repeated here, I will give. You can apply it for this one also. We calculate, I am taking lambda m naught of ammonium hydroxide for this. So you know lambda m naught of, we calculate lambda m naught of, this can be written as lambda m naught of NH4 plus lambda m naught of OH minus. So I am going to calculate lambda m naught of NH4OH. So I am taking this one as first equation. So for that purpose I am considering 3 electrolytes. Consider 3 electrolytes here. consider 3 electrolytes. So what type of electrolytes I am considering here? For this purpose, ammonium chloride, sodium chloride, sodium hydroxide. Ammonium chloride, sodium chloride, sodium hydroxide. So these I have taken. Now for this you can do lambda m naught of ammonium chloride can be written as lambda m naught of ammonium ion plus lambda m naught of Cl minus. So this is equation 2, right? Next, lambda m naught of NaCl can be written as lambda m naught of Na plus lambda m naught of Cl minus. This is equation 3. Next, lambda m naught of NaOH is equal to lambda m naught of Na plus lambda m naught of OH minus. So 4. So whatever you do, finally I want to get equation 1. By using 2, 3, 4 you have to bring out equation 1, and finally if we do that, lambda m naught of NH4OH is equal to lambda m naught of NH4Cl plus lambda m naught of NaOH minus lambda m naught of NaCl. If I do like this, then I am going to get this first equation. First one should be equal to, see what I did here, in order to get that one, I did 2 plus 4 minus 3. 2 plus 4 minus 3. So if I want to get 1 equal to 2 plus 4 minus 3. So you do whatever you want, 2, 3, 4, you subtract, add, whatever it will be, finally it should be equal to lambda m naught, first equation. So this is also important formula, students. Lambda m naught of NH4OH is equal to, what is the relation? This directly they will ask the bits, very important for NEET. Lambda m naught of ammonium hydroxide, they will give the values and directly you have to substitute in this expression. That means at that moment you have to frame the expression. So if you practice, directly you can remember that expression. Lambda m naught of NH4OH is equal to lambda m naught of NH4Cl plus lambda m naught of NaOH minus lambda m naught of NaCl. That is the important relation. This is important for objective numericals. Directly, instead of solving, it will take some more time. So you can do directly. And one more equation I will write, lambda m naught of BaOH twice is equal to lambda m naught of barium chloride, common ion is there, plus 2 into lambda m naught of NaOH, because hydroxide is there, no, that's why I have taken NaOH, minus 2 into lambda m naught of NaCl. So this is also important relation. Directly I did this one. So it's very, very important, students. Lambda m naught of weak electrolytes you can calculate. Okay, students. So this is very important for your objective bits. You have to calculate, students, that is important. So this is the thing. Everything will be given in the question itself and you are supposed to do this. Next. This is the first application. So what is the first application of Kohlrausch law? We can calculate the lambda m naught values of weak electrolytes. So second application, students, now. Calculation of degree of dissociation of weak electrolyte. What is the second application? Calculation of second application of Kohlrausch law. Calculation of degree of dissociation. Degree of dissociation of weak electrolyte. Degree of dissociation of a weak electrolyte. Now, by using, already degree of dissociation, it can be represented by using formula alpha. Alpha is equal to lambda mc by lambda m naught. That is the relation. Lambda mc by lambda m naught. You know what is lambda mc here, students? Molar conductance at molar conductivity at a given concentration. Molar conductivity at a given concentration, and here that is lambda mc. And what is lambda m naught? Molar conductance at zero concentration. Molar conductivity at zero concentration or infinite dilution, you can write zero concentration. So this formula can be rewritten as alpha is equal to lambda mc by lambda m infinity also you can take. So this is degree of dissociation in terms of V calculate can be calculated by using this data. Next, by using equivalent conductance also you can write lambda ec by lambda e naught, right? So here lambda ec means equivalent conductance, equivalent conductivity of a solution, equivalent conductivity at a given concentration, equivalent conductivity at a given concentration, and lambda e naught represents equivalent conductivity at zero concentration, equivalent conductivity at zero concentration. Okay students, now the same formula can be written as alpha is equal to lambda ec by lambda e infinity, right? So here lambda e infinity represents what? Equivalent conductance, equivalent conductivity at infinite dilution, you can call infinite dilution. So these formulas are very important students, damn sure they may ask the bits. So this is the second application by using this lambda m infinity values. So next, third application of Kohlrausch law. So you can calculate dissociation constant of a weak electrolyte. You can calculate the dissociation, or here we can say dissociation constant of a weak electrolyte. So first alpha means here what? Degree of dissociation. Now dissociation constant. You can calculate dissociation constant of a weak electrolyte. See how to calculate this dissociation constant. See actually if you take any weak electrolyte HA splits into H plus A minus. So initially here it will be initial concentration, you can take C0 0. So at equilibrium it will be C into 1 minus alpha, C into 1 minus alpha, C alpha, C alpha. Okay, this is the equilibrium concentration. Now according to law of mass action, K is equal to concentration of H plus into concentration of A minus by concentration of HA. Dissociation constant of a weak electrolyte is denoted by K. So K is equal to H plus means here C alpha, A minus means C alpha, means C into 1 minus alpha. So if you solve this one, finally K is equal to C alpha square, CC gets cancelled, C alpha square by 1 minus alpha, C alpha square by 1 minus alpha. You know already previously we have derived. So this is in box, you can keep. For weak electrolyte, this is the degree of dissociation constant of a weak electrolyte. Dissociation constant of a weak electrolyte denoted by K for weak electrolyte. So we can calculate, and here alpha value now lambda mc by lambda m naught, or you can substitute lambda ec by lambda e naught. Like that, if you substitute, you will get different values. So K is equal to C alpha square. C into alpha square means lambda mc by lambda m naught whole square. C alpha square by 1 minus alpha, 1 minus lambda mc by lambda m naught. Like this students, if you substitute, you will get the expression. So in terms of equivalent conductance also, see numericals, you can make many number of numericals. C into, in place of alpha square, in terms of I am taking lambda ec by lambda e naught whole square. by 1 minus, in place of alpha what you can write? Lambda EC by lambda E naught. Like this we can do it, students. So this is the third application. So applications, you can see many numericals you will get basing on them. So fourth application, that is calculation of solubility products. Solubility of sparingly soluble salts. So solubility also you can calculate. You already know the formula. Lambda m naught is equal to kappa into 1000 by molarity. So in case of this, molarity term can be replaced by solubility. Lambda m naught can be written as kappa into 1000 by solubility, denoted by capital S. So that is lambda m naught value. At the same time, so in case of saturated solutions, molarity is equal to solubility. In case of saturated solutions, molarity is equal to solubility. So from this you can calculate solubility is equal to kappa into 1000 by lambda m naught. So same lambda m naught can be replaced by lambda E naught also. So this is the fourth application, students. So in case of saturated solutions, solubility becomes equal to molarity. Remember that one. In case of saturated solutions, solubility becomes equal to molarity. This is the fourth application of Kohlrausch law. Next, fifth application, ionic product of water can be calculated by knowing the specific conductivity of water. So here fifth application is calculation of ionic product of water. Calculation of ionic product of water. From specific conductivity of water. Calculation of ionic product of water from specific conductivity of water. See, actually at 298 Kelvin temperature, specific, that K value will be equal to, for water, specific K value is equal to 5.54 to 10 power minus 8 Simon centimeter inverse. And from the tabular form, already as I said before, lambda m naught of H plus, you know, 349.8 Simon centimeter square mole inverse. At the same time, lambda m naught of OH minus is equal to 198.5. This is from tabular form, experimental data. So now lambda m naught of water is equal to lambda m naught of H plus lambda m naught of OH minus. This is according to Kohlrausch law. So you can write lambda m naught of water is equal to, you can substitute these values, 349.8 plus 198.5. So if you add, finally you will get 548.7 Simon centimeter square mole inverse. So then after that, after calculating the lambda m naught of water, what you have to do is, you know the relation, molarity is equal to kappa into 1000 by lambda m naught of water. So that is equal to kappa 5.54 into 10 power minus 8 into 10 cube by lambda m naught 548.7. So finally if you solve all this nonsense, you will get 1 into 10 power minus 7 mole per liter. Do the calculation. 1 into 7 mole per liter. So you already know at 298 Kelvin temperature, H plus ion concentration is equal to OH minus ion concentration, that is equal to 1 into 10 power minus 7 mole per liter. So ionic product of water, that is Kw is equal to concentration of H plus into concentration of OH minus ion, that is equal to, you can write 1 into 10 power minus 14 into 1 into 10, in 10th class also you got H plus ion concentration how much? 7 and here 7. So total you will get ionic product of water, that is Kw is equal to 1 into 10 power minus 14 mole square per liter square. So in this manner, actually the ionic product of water is calculated. You know, pH, pOH, all that in 10th class. Ionic product of water, it is a product of the molar concentrations of H plus and OH minus ion concentration. So this theoretical value is calculated basing on the Kohlrausch loss application. So these are the applications of Kohlrausch law, so electrolysis. And at the same time, now we will have some basic definitions. What is meant by absolute ionic mobility? Absolute ionic mobility. So actually it is defined as speed of the ion in centimeter per second at infinite dilution. So it is defined as speed of the ion, that is measured in centimeter per second at infinite dilution or zero concentration, at infinite dilution under a potential gradient, of 1 volt per centimeter. So here potential gradient, what is this potential gradient? Is equal to applied EMF. What is this potential gradient? Applied EMF divided by distance between the electrodes. Distance between the electrodes. Potential gradient is equal to applied EMF divided by distance between the electrodes. Next point. Ionic conductances. Ionic conductances are directly proportional to ionic mobilities. Now, let mu naught C, mu naught A or ionic mobilities of cation and anion respectively. Cation and anion. Then let lambda C naught, lambda A naught be ionic conductances of cation and anion respectively. Cation and anion respectively. Then what you can bring out the relation? Lambda C naught is directly proportional to mu naught C. From this you can write lambda C naught is equal to F into mu naught C. This is the equation where F represents, you know, Faraday. Where F represents Faraday, means 96,500 coulombs. In the same manner, lambda A naught is proportional to mu naught A. That implies lambda A naught is equal to F into mu naught A. Okay. So next point. Ionic mobility is equal to ionic conductance by 96,500. Next, ionic mobility is equal to ionic velocity divided by potential gradient. These are important relations. Potential gradient, that is equal to ionic velocity by potential difference. PD means potential difference. So these are some of the important points for applications. Okay, so thank you for listening.